Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're calling to order the regular meeting of the Jackson City Council, City of Jackson, Mississippi, here at City Hall, June the 3rd, 2025, at 10:09 a.m. Our pastor hasn't quite made it yet, so we're going to call on another pastor in the room, Mr. Aaron Banks. Mr. Banks, would you please lead us in an invocation? And then, Mr. Hartley, would you then please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
May we all please stand? Amen. Let's bow our heads. Most gracious and heavenly Father, we thank you and we bless you because you are God, and beside you there is none other. Father, we pray this day that you will crown us with wisdom and knowledge. Your word declares that a dream cometh through a multitude of business. We thank you because of who you are. Now, God, I thank you for allowing this day to go through smoothly. I thank you, God, for the grace and the mercy and your divine ability that you give us to carry out your people's business. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, colleagues. It's nice to know that we have the talent at the dais to get us started. Thank you. Colleagues, any announcements or special recognitions? Mr. Foote?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to open and close the meeting in honor of two people, friends of mine, the attorney Silas McCarron, who passed away unexpectedly last week as a dedicated attorney with Daniel Coker, Horton and Bell for many years and a long-term resident of Jackson. Secondly, just yesterday, Sue Blackwood passed away. She was a great person. Had lived in Jackson a number of times. She was at the Blake in Ridgeland when she passed away, but she's sung in the choir with First Baptist and at Christ United Methodist Church, and she's a great mother-in-law to have, great grandmother for my children, and great-great-grandmother for my grandchildren.
Oh, my goodness. Bless. Our condolences to you and to Susie.
Madam President.
Yes.
I'd like to open and close this meeting in honor of Miss Alice Esco Montgomery. She was a former city employee. She worked under me in Solid Waste Division years ago, and she had retired, but she was over in city inspections of curbside for trash and garbage and stuff years ago. But a beautiful person, always get us warm with a smile. Alice Esco Montgomery. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others? I do have a special guest today, and I'm going to cry. My husband is here because this is my next to last meeting, and he's here to say, well done, and thank you, and can you get home fast enough? And so, thank you.
Sure.
I could not have done this without him, as you all know. Dealing with me after a night of no sleep is never fun, and of the long list of other times he's been my sounding board is thank you. So let me get it together. All right, we have 3 people for public comments, and we're starting with Mr. Zach Service. Mr. Service, I want to remind you as he's making his way to the podium that you have 3 minutes, and that we ask that you respectfully acknowledge that. And Mr. Service, you're a pro at this, so please just go right ahead. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Zach Service. I'm a resident of Jackson, Ward 3. Today is a monumental day in our history as a city. We have an opportunity to elect new leadership. We have an opportunity to put 8 years of corruption and mismanagement behind us. But I want to strongly encourage each and every one of you, and those watching online and those in this room. We cannot say we're ready for change if we do not change the way we think. The only way that this corruption has been allowed to continue is because we, the people, did not hold our leaders accountable when we had the chance. And when you have absolute power unchecked, it will corrupt. whoever you vote for in this election, don't just vote today. Show up at every council meeting and use your voice. Read the agendas before they're passed. Find out where your money is being spent. Find out, are your council people, are your city employees doing what you said they're supposed to do? Are they complying with the law? Do they understand how the Constitution was written? What the right to free speech means? Do they understand that policy does not supersede law? Do they understand that you don't work for them, they work for you? Jackson has an opportunity to move forward today. But I strongly admonish every resident of Jackson, don't just move it forward at the ballot box. Get involved in your government. Watch the meetings. Ask the hard questions. Show up every opportunity you get. Continue to fight that the meetings stay at 6 p.m. where working residents can make it. I'm sorry that y'all might get tired, but it's not about the leader, it's about who we're leading. Meetings should be accessible. Government should be accessible. The numbers to your representatives and your council people and your city staff should be accessible. So I leave you with this today. Don't let today's, when you cast a vote, be the last engagement you offer to this government for the next 4 years. That we show up again and we're wondering, why did nothing change? Stay involved. Stay engaged. Ask the hard questions. And don't be afraid to use your voice. Don't be afraid to stand up. A better future is ahead, Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Service. Next we have, let's see, it's Shanty Wallace. Ms. Wallace, are you here? Good morning. When you get to the podium, please state your name for the record and be sure to turn the mic on. It needs to have a green.
Right there on the base, yeah. There you go.
Hello, my name is Shantae Wallace, and I've been living in Jackson all of my life, and I've been working in Jackson all of my life, and I've been serving Jackson all of my life. And I love Jackson, but I have a problem. And it is touching my heart very, very deeply. And for me to go through something like this, it's very, very passionate. And it's concerning my son. And my son, he's 9 years old. And by the way, I've been a police officer for 18 years for the city of Jackson. And I've been a #1 officer and helped the kids, everybody, because that's just how my heart is. But I'm going through a court case right now, and this court case is, they have took my son out of my custody, and they said that I was having mental problems. But I don't have any mental problems, because when they took my son on August the 8th, 2023, I did an evaluation immediately. And the evaluation was $1,300. And Judge Hicks was the judge with this case. And I presented that evaluation to her, but I guess it wasn't good enough. So I did like 5 or 6 more. After I did 5 or 6 more and went to court back and forth, it still was not good enough, to no avail. I even called my co-workers 911. Chief Wade tried to speak out to ask, please, can someone help me? I have a criminal family. My family will tell any kind of lie. I'm a police officer. If I was doing anything wrong to my son, everybody would know. Everybody would know. That is my only son. And he is not, okay, I wasn't married when I got him. I adopted him. He was a gift from God to me. A gift from God. And for someone to just take my son out of my hands like this, and now he's been molested. He's been molested on several occasions, and then DHS have listened to a strange man that is a pedophile, that is a neighbor of mine, that has took possession of my son. So now when I call 911, to get a welfare check on my son, they say, if you call 911 again, you will go to jail. So I don't have no contact from my son for almost 2 years. It is very disturbing. So if anybody want to help, come out and please help me. I will give you my number. I do have all of my...
Ma'am, I'm sorry, your time is up.
I'm sorry.
And I wanted to just say to you
Sorry.
that this is a matter for the courts, and this isn't really something we can get involved with. I apologize for that. So
Yes, but I
it is
did
a matter
want
for
to
the
speak
courts.
out and want everybody to know the city of
Yes, ma'am,
Licious.
thank you. Thank
Put
you.
in office.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. All right, we are now moving on to Isaac Stuckey, who's here to talk about enforcement of property agreement. Mr. Stuckey? Is Mr. Stuckey here?
He's gone.
Oh, there. Good morning. Please state your name for the record. You have 30
Yes, my
minutes.
name
Thank
is-
you.
My name is Isaac Stuckey, and I'm reaching out to the city about this case of 108 Maple Ridge Drive.
Sir, could you speak into the mic a little?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, we just want to hear you.
Okay. I'm speaking about 108 Maple Ridge Drive. This case was presented after I received my property back last year in August. But the property was burned and it went to foreclosure. So I don't know who owned it after that. Over the last 9 years, it was in someone else's possession. Now that I retrieved the property back, it has substantial amount of damage done to it. Dumping, trees grown on the property, and I don't have any resource right now to help me clean it. So I was reaching out to someone to help me in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is Mr. Archie with Constituent Services, could you please meet with this gentleman in the hall and see what we can do to help him?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Colleagues, we're going to take things a little bit out of order. Excuse me. We need to now go to the proclamation, which is item 44. And then following that, we're going to do item 45, which is the resolution. Clerk?
Proclamation recognizing June 6, 2025 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
All right, Dr. Omori.
As they're making their way to the podium, I'll let Kwesi introduce the guests. But June is National Gun Violence Awareness Month, and we have a proclamation. Before I read it, though, I'll let Kwesi say a few words and introduce his special guests.
Thank you.
Good evening, Kwesi Omari, Office of Violence Prevention, Trauma Recovery, Community Outreach Specialist. I just wanted to use this time to give some awareness to the groups we've been working with and the wonderful work they've been doing. I wanted to show them some appreciation and let them know that we see them, and we're going to continue this work moving forward. Thank you. The groups are Strong Arms of Mississippi and Living with Purpose.
Do you want to say anything?
I'll say something. How y'all doing? My name's Benny Ivey. I'm co-founder, co-director of the Strong Arms of Mississippi Credible Messenger Program. We started building our program in 2018 with a bunch of community meetings at the COFO building over at Jackson State. And since then, we've evolved into, we started out Strong Arms of Jackson. Since then, we've evolved to Strong Arms of Mississippi. And we have a community center in South Jackson, a community center over in Pearl. And we work with these young men who a lot of people say are thugs, who say are no good, who say are never going to amount to anything. I also own a small plumbing business, and I've seen firsthand a lot of these young men, before they'll text you for a cash app, they'll text you wanting to go to work, right? And so we got Living with Purpose, and we got also, there's another organization in Jackson called Operation Good, and we're doing our best to change the trajectory of these young men's paths, and we appreciate the City of Jackson's partnership and belief in us, and we're going to continue doing the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is John Knight, and I'm also a credible minister. I started with Teron, Benny, and Jarvis, and this work is hard, but it's very necessary. You know, a lot of times we turn the blind eye to these youth when we see them walking down the streets, not knowing there's a lot of these kids. We have a lot of homeless kids here in our city. And that's our job. So we take it serious about picking these kids up, taking these kids to eat, buying these kids clothes, the school situation where kids don't want to go to school because they don't have clean clothes, because they don't have proper rides, because they don't have people that's showing the love and pouring it to them. So we pour into these kids daily. It's not a job that we get off at 5 o'clock, we go home and have wine. We get calls 24/7. It's not a job that it's just a certain amount of time. You have to understand that this is necessary for our youth to become productive citizens in our community. If I would have had these type of men in my life when I was young, I wouldn't have made a lot of the mistakes that I made, and I wouldn't have been running from change. But we all have changed, and we need the city to change along with us to make this city a better city. Not just in government, not just in the county, but in the neighborhoods that a lot of you do not come to. Washington Addition, Vernon Addition, Brown Bottom, Georgetown. Come see us. Come see the kids. Come see why poverty is stricken in those neighborhoods and not in the Fungin area and not in other areas. And it hurts my heart to see so many leaders of our city really not caring about the little things. And we are the little things, the people, the poor people. And when you don't care about us, and you show it by your confrontation between each other on TV and different policies dealing with lives that you don't ask us about how to help change them lives. Start asking the little people what you can do to help and stop telling us how you want to help. But I thank y'all for everything that y'all do. We got to work harder to save the youth. Please.
Thank you. Mrs. Payne, you ready?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I read this proclamation in part. Proclamation declaring June 6, 2025 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Whereas every day 125 people in the United States are killed by gun violence and more than 260 are shot and wounded, with an average of more than 19,000 gun homicides every year. And whereas people in the United States are 26 times more likely to die by gun homicide than people in other high-income countries. And whereas in an average year in Mississippi, there are over 800 gun deaths with a rate of 29.1 deaths per 100,000 people, representing a gun death rate at 114% higher than the U.S. average, with an annual cost of $9.9 billion to the state. And whereas mayors, council members, and law enforcement officers, in partnership with local violence intervention activists and resources, know their communities best and are the most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, and are best positioned to understand how to keep their citizens safe. Whereas anyone can join this campaign to declare National Gun Violence Day by pledging to wear orange on June the 6th, the first Friday in June 2025, to help raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors. And whereas we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to help keep our families and communities safe. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Chokwe and Tar Lumumba, recognize June 6, 2025 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. I encourage all residents to support their local community efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence and to honor and value human lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman.
Yes, Dr.
Yeah,
Moore.
I'd just like to thank these groups for the work they've done in partnership with our Office of Violence Prevention and Trauma Recovery. And these were the same three groups that the city re-granted funds to through the National League of Cities. So thank you all for the work that you do, and we will continue to look towards the community, to the people in the community, and we appreciate what you do. And is Ms. Brown in here? Sharon Brown? Sharon, will you stand? Sharon is the new director of our Office of Violence Prevention and Trauma Recovery. And so she has a relationship with these groups, and she will continue to work with them.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you all for coming before us today. We do appreciate the work that you do.
Yeah.
So now we have the resolution, clerk.
Resolution honoring Jamie Anderson for his academic and extracurricular achievements at Forest Hill High School.
Thank you. Mr. Banks, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to ask if Jamie Anderson and his family will come forward to the podium. And y'all give him a hand as he comes. First of all, let me say, Mr. Bernard, that not only did this young man go to the best high school in the city of Jackson, but I will let Lanier and Callaway battle over who's the best high school, and just say that Forest Hill is the University of South Jackson. You know, but I'm going to introduce him by just saying these few words, and I think that what his action speaks for itself. Jamie Anderson has received over $10 million in scholarships from over 50 colleges. From over 50 colleges in the United States. And, you know, that achievement, you know, from a place where people deem bad, you know, in the Bible it says, can anything good come out of Nazareth? You know, and I would say everything good can come out of South Jackson, can come out of West Jackson, can come out of North Jackson. All things good can come out of Jackson, period. And so we want to celebrate that. And I'm just grateful. Mom, I know it's been a lot of hard work and everything. And at this time, if you would read the resolutions, I'm asking if the young man would have some words.
Resolution honoring Jamie Anderson for his academic and extracurricular achievements at Forest Hill High School. Whereas Jamie Anderson is the son of Angela Anderson, was born on February 26, 2007. And whereas Jamie's dedication to his studies has earned him acceptance into multiple universities and over $10 million in scholarship offers. And whereas Jamie is a proud graduate of Forest Hill High School, where he demonstrated exceptional leadership and versatility. Jamie served as a saxophone section leader during both his junior and senior years, while also showcasing his musical talents on the oboe and the piccolo. And whereas Jamie's involvement extended across extracurriculars, including the Pride of Forest Hill High Band, the Royal Court, where he was honored with the title of Mr. Duke during his senior year, the newspaper club, and foreign exchange programs. Jamie's commitment to his academic excellence and personal growth was evident through his membership in the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and the Spirit of Excellence program. And whereas Jamie was selected to perform with the William Carey Honor Band and had a rare distinction of playing with the Jackson State University Orchestra as the only high school student involved. And whereas Jamie offered insightful advice to students confronting life challenges, he lives by the belief, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it, will serve as an important message to us all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi hereby expresses its heartfelt gratitude and deep admiration admiration for Jamie Anderson's remarkable achievement and contributions. His success stands as a testament to academic excellence and serve as an inspiring model for all students. Be it further resolved that we extend our sincerest best wishes to Jamie Anderson as he embarks upon his future endeavors and wish him sustained success and happiness. Done this third day of June 2025, the Jackson City Council.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Banks, does he want to say a few words? Oh, taking a photo. All right, come on, say something. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. So, if you did not know, my name is Jamie Anderson. I'm a graduated from Forest Hill, number 3 out of 225 people. So it's important that I wasn't valedictorian or salutatorian. But for me, I just have to say that if you achieve and succeed in your life, you will meet your goal. You will meet your goal eventually. Sometimes it might not seem like you meet your goal right now, but you will meet your goal. Coming from me, I wanted to go to Dartmouth, but at the time, when I got checked my Ivy League decisions with my sister, I got waitlisted, and so that was kind of disappointing. But everything happens for a reason. Like if it's not going your way right now, it's going to go your way eventually. Like, you're going to have your ups and downs, and that's just a part of life because life isn't going to be perfect. Life isn't just like a straight roller coaster. If it was just like a straight roller coaster, anybody could just beat life. Like I said in my graduation speech, life is dealing with cards, and we are just playing the game right now. And so, when life just deals with cards, we don't know what cards we're going to receive. Like, we might receive cards that we might not like, and that we just feel like we're in a point where we can't make it. But at the end of the day, we will succeed, we will elevate, and we will levitate to the point where we want to succeed in life.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Banks, for bringing this on forward today. We appreciate your being here. Okay. Yes, Mr. Brazil.
I just wanted to say, first, congratulations. I taught at Forest Hill about 7 years or so, but I just want everybody to know JPS had over $60 million in scholarships. Forest Hill had over $25 million in scholarships, and now we see where $10 million of that comes from. Congratulations, stay focused, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Councilwoman Clay.
I just want to say congratulations and good luck and follow your dreams.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, we're going to go back now to the agenda as written. I have been reminded by several of my fellow council members that today is an election day. And so we're going to try to get through this regular agenda as quickly as we can, but still take care of the business of the people. I only see one reporter in the room. The cameras aren't here, so let's just see if we can't focus on the agenda and get through it so y'all can all get to the campaign trail. Amen. All right. All right, so clerk, we're moving now to the consent agenda.
All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'm assuming no one wants to pull any of these items out. So with that, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Introduction of ordinances, number 6. Clerk.
Ordinance of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, establishing the honorary renaming of the block bounded by Carlisle, Whitworth, Fortification, and Monroe Streets to Bill McCarthy Square.
Colleagues, this is just an introduction. It'll be on the agenda again in 2 weeks on the 17th, which is a 6 p.m. meeting. I put this on the agenda at the request of the New Stage Board of Directors. Many of you know the tremendous impact that New Stage has had on our community for 59 years. If you haven't read the history of this remarkable theater, please go on their website and do so. It is an incredible story. Mr. McCarty has been the backbone of this theater for almost all of those 59 years. And the board is asking that we consider renaming the entire block that surrounds all of New Stage in his honor, and it will be an honorary renaming, and I'm asking that you all consider voting for this on the 17th. Number 7.
Ordinance amending ordinance of the Jackson City Council temporarily reducing to zero the salary and compensation of any vacant positions within the executive branch of the City of Jackson government and any positions that will become vacant within the executive branch of the City of Jackson government.
Okay, colleagues, yes, Mr. Banks.
Yes, Madam President, I would move to expedite this for adoption today.
We have a motion on the floor to expedite this item for adoption today. All in favor?
We have a second.
You need
Not yet. We have to get it on the floor.
You need a second, ma'am.
We need a second. To expedite.
I made the motion. Somebody got a second.
Second. All right, we now have a motion and a second. All in favor of expediting this item, please raise your hand.
Sorry.
Okay, opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. Then we can't.
No, you can, you don't have to have a unanimous vote to
expedite?
No.
We don't? Okay, all right. All right, then we have one abstention.
Madam Chair, did you call for questions or
Not
comments?
yet. We got to get it on the floor to expedite it.
You Madam President?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, since there's been a motion and a second, there can be discussion before you take the vote.
Okay, all right. All right, yes, Mr. Hartley?
Yes, I was just I'm wondering, basically the benefit of moving it forward right now. I'd just like to hear some discussion, some conversation on it.
Yes, we will get there, Mr. Hartley, I promise. We've got a couple of different opportunities for discussion, and I appreciate that question. Mr. Banks?
Yeah, if that is going to cause an objection, which will keep this from going forward, Madam President, I don't mind briefly just explaining.
Okay, go right ahead.
So briefly, when we did this, we just was moving and didn't, give thought to some of the things that are necessary. So, for example, the zookeepers, the lifeguards, and some of the summer workers that cut the golf cart courses and some of the other things which are seasonal jobs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the summer workers and the lifeguards are supposed to start tomorrow. And so instead of pushing this back another 2 weeks, with the summer months starting and the kids already being out of school, I think that it is important, especially for those summer workers, those lifeguards, those people in park maintenance, golf, and then also for the zookeepers. There's 3 zookeepers and 1 educational specialist in the zoo that we have to hire to feed and deal with those animals, and a lot of this is seasonal again.
All right, thank you, Mr. Banks. That is not, and so let me just say, when I put this back on the agenda, it was because we really needed to address the fact that Jackson Police Department, and that's what's in the ordinance amendment before us today, is because Jackson Police Department needs to also hire some dispatchers and some folks that they've got to have. And so to add the positions that you were just discussing, Mr. Banks,
we have to make them.
after we need to vote on whether or not we're going to expedite this, or if we're going to wait 2 weeks, which would be kind of moot. And so we need to vote on that, and then after that, I will accept any amendment, right, Mr.? Yes. Did your questions get answered enough to be able to vote on whether or not to? Well, we did vote on expediting it, and you voted against it, right, Mr. Hartley?
Right. I abstained from it, Madam President.
Oh, you abstained?
I wanted to hear more information on it. But I know we have some positions out there, and we're kind of doing it piecemeal. Last time we did something, today we're doing something. I'm wondering if the administration has a drop-dead list on positions we absolutely have to have right now. Is this going to be it? Are there any more changes to come? Are there any more requests to come?
Other than the police department and parks?
Police Department and
Those
Parks.
are the only ones I know of. Mr. Wright, anybody else?
I believe Louis Wright, CAO. I believe they've been covered under Mr. Banks, Councilman Banks' discussion of those items. We've not received anything from solid waste yet in terms of any CDL drivers that we need to hire, but we can bring that back to you later if we need to.
Well, June 17th, it's kind of moved at that point. Yes, Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, I would be willing to make that amendment to this to add any CDL drivers.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, good, thanks.
And then it's done.
Is there a second on the amendment?
Wait, just a minute.
We got to.
Oh, yeah.
Wait just a minute. We're not ready for the amendments yet.
Sure.
All right, so we can move forward with this.
I think we should listen to what legal has to say.
Drew Martin, City Attorney. All I was going to suggest is, so what's currently on the floor is the motion to expedite and not the amendments, as I understand it.
That's right.
And so I just want to caution the council to make sure, and you may end up with amendments that some people don't want to expedite and others they do. Just consider the order in which you take things.
Well, we're going to have to vote on it again.
Okay.
And we'll have to vote on each of the amendments as well. But let's try to do all the amendments at one time, colleagues, and not 3 or 4 just separate ones. All right, so, Clerk, we have the item on the floor to expedite. We have voted on that. Will the clerk please read the item again?
We need a motion and a second for adoption.
Oh, okay. But don't you have to read it again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ordinance amending ordinance of the Jackson City Council temporarily reducing to zero the salary and compensation of any vacant positions within the executive branch of the City of Jackson government and any positions that will become vacant within the executive branch of the City of Jackson government.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Any questions at this time, colleagues? Yes, Mr. Banks?
Madam President, I have some amendments for the Department of Parks and Recreation first. All right, Madam President, I would like to, I believe, along with already, I think you have JPD, and you have all of them.
I have JPD, yes.
Okay, all right. So for Parks and Rec, the zookeepers and educational specialists, golf workers, park maintenance, and 2 lifeguards. And if I can get a nod from Dr. Muhammad that that's correct.
All right.
All right, so that's my motion for Parks and Recreation.
All right, were there any other positions you wanted to add to that? Let's try to do this amendment all at once.
We'll try to do all at once. All right, so before we go to CDL, I guess my question is, the summer workers, that's under HR?
Human and Cultural Services.
Human and Cultural Services. Have they all already gone through the process, or are we?
I don't think so. I know I haven't approved the volume that I usually approve at this time of year.
So there's still some summer workers, youth workers that are out there?
That were probably caught out there under this freeze.
All right, so Madam President, I want to add to that the summer youth workers from, the high schools and stuff in the city of Jackson, out of Human and Cultural Service. And Mr. Hartley has an addition.
Yes, I'd like to add to any CDL drivers that are absolutely necessary, especially in solid waste. If we got vehicles and no drivers, that's a problem. So I'd like to add any CDL drivers citywide that we're going to need moving forward.
It's in the ordinance. It's in there, Mr.
Banks
we took care of all the first responders in this amended, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's already in there. These amendments, y'all, were there any other amendments? I mean, anybody else? All right. Any discussions on the amendment? I'm sorry, Mr. Malumbeka?
No.
Speak now or it's going to be too late?
Yeah, so I think we need to consider, we do have some positions in finance. Treasury lost an employee that would need to be replaced. She passed away. And also the assistant budget manager position as we're going into budget season.
Mr. Mellenbeck, all of that can wait till after June 30th, I believe. I mean, do you have anybody ready to hire?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Madam President, just a question. Does hiring this affect the timeline in us getting our audit? Because I think that's one of the most important things for this body.
I think pieces of it from Treasury, yeah.
Okay. Does it or does it not?
I would say it does.
Okay.
I'm waiting, anybody want to add these positions to the amendment, proposed amendment? All right.
I was saying Ms. Clay.
Ms. Clay.
All right, the financial positions were just added by Councilwoman Clay. Clerk, do you have all of this? Because have mercy.
I think
all right.
But we need a second.
Yeah, we need Mr. Banks was the author of the motion.
And I second it.
Oh, you second?
And Mr. Hartley made the second. Any
somebody-
other discussion on this proposed amendment? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you, colleagues. Now we have the item before us as amended. Any additional discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you very much, colleagues. Now, maybe this will get us through June 30th. All right, now we're moving on now to adoption of ordinance. Clerk, item number 8.
Ordinance establishing an entertainment district within the corporate boundaries of the city of Jackson, Mississippi, and designating the geographic areas included within and boundaries of said district and for related purposes.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Colleagues, is Mr. Keaton in the room or? Oh, you're there. There you are. And Mr. Davis, who did the line, I think he did a lot of the heavy lifting on this. Colleagues, we had this up for introduction last meeting, and now it's up for a vote. Y'all have had a chance to read over this, and we've had discussion about it in work session and last week. Are there any additional questions or comments regarding this item? Mr. Banks.
Yes, Madam President, first of all, I just want to thank you for, the persistence. Thank planning, Mr. Keaton, for working on this. My memory goes back when we had National League of Cities in the capital city, in Jackson, and we had, mayors and council members from all over the country here for the National Black Caucus of local elected officials. The event was held at the Westin, but every day of that conference, we walked to Martin's to Eaton, and, I know that all this doesn't deal with this, but I hope in the future, because one of the things that makes an entertainment district whole is hotels, that there's a way to connect, the Westin and, some of the hotels, whatever, to, what goes on over here at Martin's and Howler Mouse. But I'm excited about it. The taste of their steaks has nothing to do with my vote, but I'm excited about this. And Madam President, I just wanted to thank you for helping to push this.
All right, thank you very much. Colleagues, any other questions or comments? I'd like to just really thank Mr. Keaton and his team, Mr. Davis especially, for the amount of work they have put into this. They've done it very quickly. Probably the most important thing about creating there are a lot of important reasons to create an entertainment district, but perhaps one of the most important is it gives the developers and owners of the area the opportunity to tap the Mississippi Tourism Rebate Program. And we all know that when you are rehabbing a very old property in the city of Jackson, that you need all the incentives you can get. And I understand that the owners are also going to get this on the National Register, so they can also use historic tax credits for all the improvements they plan to make for this property. And I also want to pause and say thank you to the mayor's office for also supporting this and working with the planning department to get it done. Thank you, Dr. Omari. All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, it carries with a vote of 5-1. Thank you, colleagues. All right, now we're moving on to a related item, item 9. Clerk.
Ordinance establishing a leisure and recreation district within the corporate boundaries of the city of Jackson, Mississippi, and designating the geographic areas included within and boundaries of said district and for related purposes.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Colleagues, any questions or comments on it? I do want to also recognize that we have the owners of Howland Mouths here and Mr. Mitch McGuffey, who is their legal representation and is also on the Jackson School Board, and so thank you for your service. And is there anyone else here related to this, Mr.? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
Madam President, could all of them stand?
Martins, yes, that would be great, Mr. Harper. Could you all please stand?
Yes, please stand.
Because we really appreciate the fact that you are willing to put this kind of investment into our downtown. Oh, I'm sorry. There's Mr. Malcolm. I saw you walk out. I didn't even see you over there.
He was hiding back there. I didn't see you.
Yeah, and we know that without Mr. Malcolm White, that we would not have this hugely important institution in our city, which has done so much to preserve jazz and blues music and the arts in our city and our state. And so thank you very much for all of that. Thank you all. And
Martins.
You know, and Martins, have mercy. I spent so many nights when my son was a 16-year-old band member at Martins, you know, being the mother with the migraine headache. But anyway, thank you for the importance that Martins has played in the development of music and has given so many of our children the opportunity to grow musically. We really appreciate all of that. So the weeks. All right, so with that, colleagues, any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to Martins. A lot of times after the council meeting, it's on Tuesday, it's rib day over at Martins, and that's my reward, okay? So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you see us all over there on Tuesday. That's right. So, all right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Madam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't see.
No, just real quick. Hopefully, this means that there'll be some crawfish broils and, okay, all right.
See, it's almost up.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm sorry, Madam President.
No, that's okay. All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? It's unanimous. Well, no, it's not. It's a vote of 6-0. Thank you very much, colleagues. I appreciate your support. Thank you all for being here. All right, we're now moving on to the regular agenda with claims, and don't let me forget, I understand there is an amendment. Clerk?
Order approving claims appearing at pages 4802 inclusive thereon on municipal docket of claims in the amount of $3,904,584.34 for and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, colleagues. Mr. Malembeka, the amendment, please.
Good morning. Fidelis Malembeka, CFO. We do have two amendments to the docket. One is to remove the payments to Jackson Water for the water sewer business in the amount of $64,413.75. We have some research that we need to do on some invoices that were erroneous.
Go ahead, Mr. Banks.
Yeah. Well, can you send us a memo on that?
Sure.
Okay, just on why, yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to get into it now, but just, okay.
Okay, all right. And then
I still have some questions, but. Yeah.
I understand, Mr. Banks. Keep going, Mr.
And the second is to add a payment to Leviton Law Firm in the amount of $65,000. This is part of a settlement that legal department has secured on a dispute with some IT charges.
Okay, is that all?
Yes.
All right.
Just quick question real quick on that last item. Mr. Martin, Attorney Martin, do we need to have an order for this before we deal with the claim of it?
Drew Martin, City Attorney. Normally, the answer would be yes. So this was a contract. This is money that is still owed on the contract and can be paid pursuant to payments that are still owed on the contract. The ultimate payment is a compromise that's less than what is contractually owed. But because of that, the authority is there to just pay it on the contract. It should have been paid already.
Okay, so this doesn't exceed any not to exceed amount?
Correct.
In the contract we voted on previously?
Correct.
Okay, we're good. All right.
Okay, thank you. All right, Clerk, did you get all of that? Okay, thank you so much. All right, colleagues, any other questions on the proposed amendment? Hearing none, all in favor? Wait.
I'm sorry. I move according to the statements of the CFO.
Oh, we didn't have that.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the proposed amendment. Any questions about it? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, it carries with a vote of 6-0. The item claims is now before us as amended. Now, colleagues, we're going to hear Mr. Malambeca go over larger claims. Mr. Malambeca.
Okay, so the following represent the 4 largest claims on the docket. They are as follows. First, Transportation South Incorporated in the amount of $899,451 paid out of Fund 187. Transportation, this is for the purchase of 17 passenger buses. Second is Civotech Incorporated in the amount of $600,000 paid out of Fund 173, 1% infrastructure tax. This is for the arterial resurfacing project engineering services. Third is MV Contract Transportation Incorporated in the amount of $433,694.75 paid out of Fund 187 Transportation. This is for the January 2025 fixed route services. And the fourth is MV Contract Transportation, Inc. in the amount of $402,550.39 paid out of Fund 187 Transportation. This is for the February 2025 fixed route services.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, any questions or comments on claims as amended? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? It carries with a vote of 4-2. Thank you very much, colleagues. We're moving on now to payroll.
Order approving gross payroll, including payroll deduction claims number 319612, and make an appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on payroll? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, we have a vote of 5-1 on payroll. Item 12. Clerk.
Order establishing the assessment for the Fondren Business Improvement District.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Colleagues, I just want to tell you that there were some questions yesterday in work session about this letter that was in there addressed to me. That should not have been in the packet. That is not something we are voting on. It is strictly a letter to me, and copied on it are people in the county. So this is really to let us know that this item, these particular items need to be possibly counted by hand and not just generated by computer, because they tend to get, and I'm way over my head on this, but they tend to get dropped, and so they need to be counted by hand. So I hope that satisfies the questions that were on that. The items that we are voting on is the long list of all the businesses that are attached to the order. So any other questions or comments on this item? All right, hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you very much, colleagues. Item 13.
Order establishing the assessment for the LaFleur East Business Improvement District.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this one? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you, colleagues. Item 14, Clerk.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Regroup Mass Notification.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We did discuss this in work session yesterday. Are there any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Welcome, Mr. Mayor. Item 15.
Order ratifying procurement and authorizing payment to Southern Actuarial Services Company, Inc. for completion of the GASB 75 report for the fiscal years commencing October 1, 2022 through September 30th, 2023, and October 1, 2023 through September 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Any questions or comments? Here, Mr. Banks.
Yes, to Mr. Miller-Beck with Finance. This, dealing with the GASB, is one of the only things outstanding in order for us to complete or ask for, right? I believe maybe this in the convention center?
So Convention Center and the other outstanding items with Jackson Water that were discussed, I think there were 3 months in question. That must have been addressed last week. I've not gotten the update yet, but that should.
But we did receive everything from Jackson Water, from my understanding.
Yes. Last week when I had the meeting, there were 3 months that essentially should be counted. When we started transferring the money to Jackson Water, which we have those documents, right? And so that was the only thing that was brought up last week when I had a meeting.
So as soon as we get all of this, what's the timeline of getting everything over to the auditor so that we can complete the 23 audit?
The audit for the Convention Center, not getting us, I don't know if you've gotten the update, but I know last week there was an outreach to obtain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Madam President, if we can get a letter along with City Legal to the Convention Center urging them to get that to us as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
Because I think that's the only thing, and those are the only things outstanding.
Yes, and then we need to get a commitment on the actual timeline that the auditor would produce. I believe they said they were waiting to get that information.
When you say timeline, hold on.
Yeah. So once they receive all the information, it goes through the management review with Mr. Hodges. Right, he would let us know.
So you need a committed timeline from him once we get everything?
Yes.
But there was an agreed timeline previously in this contract, right?
Correct.
So are we holding them accountable to that?
So part of it is the delay on receiving the information from Jackson Water. His timeline, I think he was to complete by March of April. But again, that was contingent upon him receiving that information.
Yeah, I mean, I just, typically, we're about to, get into where there's new people that are about to fill these seats. I don't want 23 lingering over, and we're about to be, handle the budget year for 25, 26.
Right.
And then we still got to do 24.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's urgent and it's.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever buttons we have to press to get this done, the Convention Center, hopefully Jackson Water will work with us as quick as possible. And if we don't get the information from Jackson Water, I think we talk with legal about making those exceptions and talk with the auditor so that we can get this done and saying that that's not on us, so that we can, be in compliance. I think this is very, very important.
Yeah, and I'll get the update. In fact, I'll send out a note here.
Thank you, Mr. Mellenbecker. Yes. Clerk, did you get that about the letter that we need to get done? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Banks.
No problem.
Yes, Ms. Clay?
The difference in the 12,000 and 525, did we find out why the difference in price?
Toya Martin, HR Director. I did speak with Chuck Carr, who's the person that provides that information. And what I determined is that the $12,000 invoice is for a full valuation period, and the $5,250 was half of it. It was just 1 year. So the information that he compiled was for the $12,000 was an actual full evaluation. So when the auditors request that information at the end of this year, they already have half of that data that's already been provided by Mr. Carr. So that's the difference in it. One is a full report, and the other one is just for one of the years.
Okay, any other questions, Ms. Clay?
Just looking at the year, the dates that she has on here, so both of them are a year, but whatever. If one is full and one is partial, we accept it, but it doesn't sound right.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, did you?
No, I was just going to encourage Ms. Martin to, maybe have a deeper dive with the council members about this, since they're over the budget. There seems to be a little consternation about, that explanation. So if you could, prepare to have a brief sit down with them about this.
Should we?
If you feel.
We can, you're okay? Okay, everybody's ready on
I'm
this?
saying that it's
Okay.
a difference in price, and we need to watch the numbers.
I appreciate that, Ms. Clay. All right, any other questions or comments on this item? Hearing none.
Councilwoman,
Yes.
I can go ahead, I can forward you the explanation that he sent me. I'll send that to the council members.
That would be great. Thank you so much. All right, but everybody's ready to vote on it? Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Let's see, item 16.
Order authorizing payment to the Mississippi Association of Police Chiefs for the membership dues for the Chief of Police.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you, colleagues. Number 17.
Order authorizing the mayor to extend the service agreement with the Benchmark Analytics for 2 additional one-year terms and ratifying invoice number 3448 for payment.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this one. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Hearing none, all in favor? Carry with a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Item 18.
Order approving the payment of invoice number 256238 submitted by Upchurch Services LLC for emergency repair of air conditioning unit located at 387 South Congress Street, which is the location of the 911 Communication Division and Department of Information Technology.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 19.
Order ratifying an invoice submitted by Environmental Management Plus, Inc. for renovation and repairs completed for DFA-SB-2971 Tougaloo Senior Center.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 20.
Order revising Department of Human and Cultural Services 2024-2025 fiscal year budget.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 21.
Order revising the Department of Human and Cultural Services 2024-2025 fiscal year budget.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, just want to take a brief moment, since we're on Human and Cultural Services, talking about their budget. Had an opportunity to take a tour of the progress of the planetarium. The work is outstanding. It's going to be first class. It's something that the city of Jackson will be proud to boast of, and it will bring people from near and far. And so I just want to commend the leadership and the work that's taking place in Human and Cultural Services.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 22.
Order ratifying the procurement of advertising services from Alpha Media LLC, 99 Jams WJMI, and authorizing payment of invoice number 920508-1 in the amount of $400 to Alpha Media LLC.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments, colleagues? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 23.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Boys Baseball Association for the use of city-owned baseball fields located in Grove Park.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 24.
Order amending the Department of Planning and Development's fiscal year 2024-2025 budget.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, we have 5 in favor with 1 abstention. Item 25.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a preliminary engineering services contract with Pickering Firm, Inc. for the Dixon Road across Lynch Street Relief Bridge Replacement STP-8279-00-005 LPA 109681-701000 Hines County.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, any questions or comments? We did discuss this yesterday. Mr. Hartley?
Just one additional thing, as we were discussing yesterday, Mr. Wright, that sinkhole coming out from Dixon Road, that's at the corner of, it's at the northeast corner of Falk Boulevard and Dixon Road. Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, colleagues, any questions or comments? Any additional questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 26.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a construction, engineering, and inspection services agreement with Garver LLC for the Jackson Signals Improvement Project STP-0250-00-056 LPA 109283-701000 Hines County.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 27.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a construction, engineering, and inspection services agreement with Mirrored Engineering Solutions LLC for the Beasley Road Project Rehabilitation Project.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Colleagues, questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 28.
Order accepting the bill of Henfield Construction Company, Inc. for the Beasley Road Bridge Rehabilitation Project.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Item 29.
Order accepting the bid of Henfield Construction Company, Inc. for the Officer Thomas Ketchen Senior Drive Bridge Replacement Project STP-7293-00001 LPA 109280-701000, subject to concurrence by the Mississippi Transportation Commission.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think we did discuss this one yesterday, too. Mr. Foot?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm all for doing all this construction work on our roads and bridges, but this is, I just wanted a question on this one. The lowest bid was $1,671,373. Could somebody tell me where that money is coming from and how much is left after we pay out that money?
Imad Al-Turk with APD. The funds are coming from the 1% Sales Tax Commission and MDOT both.
Thank you.
MDOT and 1%.
Oh, so part of it's from MDOT?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 30.
Order accepting the bid of Whole Mac Corporation for one Pac-Mac knuckle boom trash loader with bucket hauler for a total of $255,000.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We had a good bit of a discussion on this one yesterday. Any additional questions or comments? Mr. Hartley?
Yes, Mr. Wright, or administration, do you know how long it'll take for us to get this truck in? Once
Louis
ordered.
Rice, CAO, I do not know. Ms. Weathers is here. She can give us a timeline in terms of this truck arriving.
Welcome, Ms. Weathers.
Morning.
Solid Waste, Lakeisha Weathers, a month.
Yes, I was inquiring. Right now, we have an old truck that's pretty bad off, and then we have a new truck we just got. This will be a great addition to our ability to clean up our open dumps around the city. So how long do you think it'll take for us to order and get everything set up with it?
A month.
A month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the truck is already built. They're waiting on us.
They're waiting on, great. Let's get it done then. Thank you.
Sir.
All right, any other questions or
Yes,
comments?
ma'am.
Mr. Foot?
I'd asked a question yesterday on the same item about how many dumpsters the city had, and Mr. Wright informed me at the beginning of the meeting that we have 11 dumpsters.
We have 11 dumpsters?
Thank you, Mr.
Just
Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, follow up. 11 dumpsters, and we have roll-off trucks to deliver those dumpsters and drivers, or do you need anything else?
We have 11 dumpsters. We have 3 that are open and available for use.
Okay, that's like community cleanups and stuff?
Yes, well, roll-off and city, events and functions, cleanup activities. But as far as the trucks go, yes, we do need to look at purchasing new roll-off trucks at some point.
So we need a roll-off truck?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'm sure that's going to be part of our budget discussions then.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions or comments on item 30? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 7-0. Welcome, Mr. Stokes. Item 31.
Order accepting the bid of Lewis Electric, Inc. for the Jackson Signals Improvement Project STP-025-00-00056 LPA 109283-701000, subject to concurrence by the Mississippi Transportation Commission.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Mr. Foote?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's great we're improving and fixing our traffic signals and all, but this was, cost here is $1,201,191. Curious if we're getting any assistance in paying for that from DOT or somebody else.
Yes, that's 100% federally funded.
Is that right? Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it worked out so that, it came in a little bit below the contractor's estimate and, the engineer's estimate, so there's enough money in, that grant to cover 100% of everything.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, good. Any other questions or comments?
Question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. They're working at 5 points on the lights. We want to thank you, number one. What time frame are we looking at before it's complete? They were there at night. I think that's better. There's not as much traffic. What kind of time frame they on to complete it?
Yep, Lewis Rice, CAO. I don't know the exact timetable in terms of completing that project. I know they did have to wait on getting some parts in, so that's why they started back working on it. Mayor, did you have any?
No.
I thought you were.
Acknowledging something else.
Okay.
But thank you, Councilman Stokes.
Yeah. Unless Mr. Alter.
Mr. Alturk.
The construction time is 7 months.
7 months. Is that just at that location?
No, this is for all the intersection improvements, for all the signalization.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions on this one? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 6-0. Item 32.
Order authorizing payment of full and final settlement of all claims in the matter of Christopher Ingalls versus City of Jackson, Mississippi, et al. In the Circuit Court of Hinds County, Mississippi, First Judicial District, Civil Action Number 24-221.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item, colleagues. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
All right, so we have 6 in favor with 1 abstention. We are now on item 33, right, clerk?
Order authorizing payment of full and final settlement of all claims in the matter of Contessa Goodwin as next of kin, daughter, and wrongful death beneficiary of Willie Brewster, deceased, versus the City of Jackson, Mississippi, et al. In the Circuit Court of Hinds County, Mississippi, First Judicial District, Civil Action Number 24-261.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments that can be discussed during open session? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 7-0. Item 34.
Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, honoring and recognizing the annual Juneteenth Freedom and Unity Cultural Celebration 2025.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Mr. Stokes, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, it's so special. Jackson was one of the first cities outside of the state of Texas that really celebrated Juneteenth. And after it became more of a national holiday and everything else, then now all over the state of Mississippi and probably all over the United States, they're beginning to celebrate Juneteenth, and it's a lot of positive things going to take place. During Juneteenth, we got a lot of entertainment that's going to take place, and it's just almost citywide. There's no one central organizing organization that's telling people to come and celebrate Juneteenth, but it's a special time. And I think this year is on the Thursday, and I think we got the former clerk for the city of Jackson is going to perform Saturday night. So we're going to let everybody know the different things that's going to take place as part of Juneteenth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Stokes. Any other questions or comments on this item, colleagues? Hearing none, all in favor? Carries with a vote of 7-0. 35.
Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, honoring the Mississippi Civil Rights Homecoming Parade and Celebration.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Stokes?
Thank you, Madam President. We had some things to change, but some things remain the same. Charles Evans started the homecoming. Now, he did it because of the assassination of his brother Medgar. But what has happened, the family want to honor Medgar's birthday, which is July the 2nd. He'll turn 100. So what we want to do is honor the family wishes. However, we want to make sure that we never forget what Charles Evans started with the homecoming. And we put another twist to it because we're going to honor fathers for Father's Day. So we're going to have a parade and a march that Saturday as we move to a Father's Day. And I hope we can bring an item on the agenda originally supporting Father's Day, and we got who we consider the Father of the Year. I know for Ward 3 and Property City of Jackson, who's here with his family today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Mr. Mayor.
Yes, first and foremost, I commend Councilman Stokes for lifting up the history of our civil rights icon. On the subject of festivals and homecomings, I just want to acknowledge to the council, you may have received calls from individuals who typically do festivals in the city, and the city has not provided funding that they've asked for. I want you to know, because there was a budgetary change with the amount we allotted there, that's why the decision was made. So I just want to give you the heads up on
Yes,
that.
sir. I think it went from 150 to 80,000.
Yeah. So.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments on this item? Hearing none, all in favor? It carries with a vote of 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Stokes, for that. Item 36.
Order approving the application of Woodland Hills Conservation Association, Inc. for the installation of a public access gate on Glenway Drive between parcels 3-20, 3-40, and on Ridge Drive between parcels 3-1 and 3-61-5.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on this item, colleagues. Any other, any questions or comments? I think we discussed it yesterday. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, so it carries with a vote of 6 in favor with 1 abstention. We do not need item number 37, colleagues, because there was no public hearing. It was done previously. All right, so it was done. Item 38.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding with the West Side Civic Club for a matching grant for in-kind services.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Colleagues, any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Mr. Foote, I'm sorry, how did you vote? You voted, okay.
Put a rusted notebook, that's what.
Oh, do you want me to call?
No.
Okay. I thought I saw your hand. All right, colleagues, we have a vote. It was a vote of 7-0. All right. Now, colleagues, we do have one emergency item for us to consider. I'm going to ask the city attorney or Mr. Williamson, I'm not sure which, to come forward and say that you can explain this to us so we can determine whether or not we want to, I think we need a little information on it before we vote on whether or not to add it to the agenda.
Certainly. Terry Williamson, Office of the City Attorney. This is an item to amend the budget of the Public Works Department. And it's actually, all this money is in Fund 372, which is the modernization tax fund. If you'll recall, the City Council budgeted $100,000 for each ward for resurfacing projects in those wards. So what has happened, though, and which, is not unusual, through the work of the Infrastructure Management Division, doing pothole repairs and stuff, they have run out of money for asphalt that was budgeted. And so this item would transfer $28,970, I think is what it, $570 from each of your $100,000 allotments to a fund for, that's budgeted as professional services right now. This would move it to materials so that, infrastructure management could purchase asphalt to continue doing repairs.
Thank you, Ms. Williamson. So really, in essence, what we're considering today is whether or not to pay for asphalt.
Yeah, right. Continue to have money to, for infrastructure.
Yeah. On election day. Okay, so Mr. Banks.
Yeah, so just quick question, Mr. Wright. So the $28,000, of course, is going to materials to purchase the asphalt.
That's correct.
Have any of the other monies allocated in each one of the wards? Like $28,000, so have the other $70,000 been spent?
No, Lewis Wright, CAO, none of the other.
So the $70,000 still sitting there?
It's still sitting there.
What we got to do to get it spent? 'Cause I can give you some street names right now.
What we've been doing is working with council members as you send requests to us.
So you wait on us to send requests. You don't have nobody going out and spotting?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. And we're doing a lot of street paving and resurfacing through 1% and through just modernization.
Kathy, can you get him Lakeshore? I'm going to give you a list to get to him today.
Mr. Banks, that's an email. All right, yeah, we got to get this going. All right, so, wait, okay, all right, let me just say this right now. What we are discussing right now is whether or not we're going to get this item on the agenda. I'm going to ask you to hold all other questions till we actually get it on the floor, okay? All right, thank you. Now, colleagues, I think we have enough information now to consider whether or not we want to actually deal with this item and get it on the floor. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to add this emergency item to the agenda. All in favor? Great, thank you. That's clean. It says a vote of 7-0. Now, would the clerk please read the item?
Order amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget of the City of Jackson Department of Public Works Infrastructure Division to provide additional funds for purchasing asphalt for street repairs.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add this item to the agenda. Any other questions? This is about adding it to the agenda.
Oh, I thought we voted.
All in favor? Have we done that?
No, we added it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm way behind.
It's all right.
I'm glad. I'm tired. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Mr. Foote, your
So we're
question.
talking about the item now, correct?
We're talking about the item now. I was the one confused. You were right.
So I get two questions. One, this money's coming from the modernization tax, is that correct?
Set aside with
The funds are coming from the modernization tax.
Yes, these were funds that were set aside.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Last budget.
Yeah, but continued into this current budget.
So I mean,
So they're actually budgeted in that fund.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that there's limitations on what that money can be spent from the state. And
That's correct.
So this is within those limitations?
Yes, this is road maintenance, which is one of the things that money can be used for.
So how much We're taking however much money this is, 28 times 7.
That's 189.
Okay. However much it is, how much is left in that modernization tax fund?
500.
Take this money out.
512,000.
Is that right?
Or 11,000.
For that, yeah, that's not the total amount that's left in the modernization fund,
Wait a
but
minute,
just,
wait, if we're talking about money and how much is left in a fund, I would prefer that we have either Mr. Malavecca or...
well, no, I mean, it
Answer
depends on what his question is. If his question is how much is left
after this
in the money that was set aside, the 700,000, I mean, I can answer that.
Okay,
But
please do.
if you want the total amount that's left in the modernization fund overall, I'd defer to Mr. Malavecca on
I'd like to
that
know both those numbers, but go ahead with the one you can tell me about.
Well, I mean, I guess it's 700 minus, 190, 89 or something like that, so roughly 500,000 is left. Yeah.
11,000.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Malavecca, do you know the total amount? Or do you need to get that to us in a memo? All right, he'll get it to us in a memo, Mr. Foote. All right, Mr. Banks.
Yeah. Madam President, Mr. Wright, I did not know that when we did this, set it aside, that you were waiting on us to call you and say what potholes. I thought that there was some type of system or metric, like with 311 calls. So, and I don't know how other councils, but for based on those 311 calls in Ward 6, go get done what you can get done. Just spend it. Because our thought was that if we set the money there, that there was 100,000 to fill potholes. You get a 311 call in, boom, 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 go do it. And that's what I thought.
And that's what we're doing, Councilman. We are filling those potholes based on 311 calls that we're getting in. But you got to remember, 100,000 per ward is not going to go very far.
Well, I got that, but you hadn't spent anything out of it, right?
No, we've been just using it out of our regular maintenance budget in terms of street repairs.
Oh, okay.
I think we can spend $100,000 in 4 weeks.
Yeah. I think you could spend it today.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Hartley.
Yeah, I'm asking Mr. Wright, so can we deliver you a list of those potholes that we think are priority ones in our ward?
Yes, that will be fine. And we will spend what we can based on your list.
I understand. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Williamson.
Just a point, that money is budgeted right now, and that's why we're having to do this transfer. It's budgeted as professional services, so so the rest of that money wouldn't be available for the department to go make those repairs. It's budgeted so that a contractor or somebody could make those repairs.
So it'll take a little longer.
So that's just a consideration if we want to move forward and just move all that money.
Say that one more time. You saying it? I just want to get to the bottom. I'm sorry.
Mr. Banks.
You're saying that this money set aside, that it's more so used for contractors?
It's set aside as other professional services. That's the line item it's in.
That wasn't
not routine materials, or not materials.
Okay, well, no, I got that part, and I understand that this is for materials. But I think the understanding was before you contract out, if we have the ability within Public Works to go patch a pothole, they could just get it done and it just be paid for internally or whatever. Not each pothole go out to a contractor. I just want to make sure we clear on that.
No, it wouldn't make any sense to have.
I just want to make sure.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Hartley.
Yes, Ms. Williamson, would it be advantageous if we move that money into another category that would make it easier for Public Works to use? I mean, we're only talking $500,000, but, so we can, kind of avoid some of the
we can continue to do what we're doing now in terms of moving it out of professional services and moving it into paved streets, what we're doing now, what your action is now.
Well, did you want to include, this movement, did you want to include that all today?
No, it's already in modernization.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, colleagues.
Yeah.
All in favor? It's a vote of 7-0. Thank you very much. All right, now we're going back to the agenda, colleagues. We have discussion items, amending payroll. Mr. Foote.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We discussed this a little bit last meeting. I just curious where the council actually okays the payroll. We go out, have a payroll item, but it's only for like $98,000. Where's the, if we're in charge of the purse, we need to know the mechanics of where the money, how the money goes out. Can somebody explain that to us?
Yeah, so the money for salaries is in the budget, right, per department and division. So that's where the money is, right? And when you approve the budget, essentially, you're providing that authority to pay for salaries.
Okay, well, since we got oversight responsibility since we have oversight responsibilities, I think there needs to be somewhere updates on a monthly or quarterly basis on where we stand on all the salaries we budgeted for the whole year, whether we're up over or under, or where we stand on all that on a regular basis.
Yeah, so on a monthly basis, you do get a report. That financial report actually does have that information.
Summarize all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Mayor?
Yes. I'd like to speak to this item because I know where the fixation originated from. I'll just like to say that I'm in a season of gratitude. I'm walking out of this office grateful for the work that we've done, acknowledging that there's more that we could have done, also acknowledging the shortcomings that we've all experienced in terms of difficult discussions, difficult decisions to be made, and the conflict. And so I want everyone to know that as I'm leaving office, I'm not leaving with animosity, right? I'm not leaving with any resentment. And to the extent that that is still harbored in anyone's heart, I would encourage you to release that, because I want peace for you, right? I want you to be able to, go forward, because I won't be the subject of your consternation going forward, right? And so I know that this item originated talking about my salary and things like that. And so I want to let you know that when I go home, as nice of people as you are, I don't think about you. I really don't. You're not on my mind. You're not my type, right? I think about my family and all of these things, and I want to encourage you to do the same. All right? Thank you very much.
Did you actually say we not your type?
Well, none of you are my type, but I wasn't saying it like that. I have a type. Her name is Ebony Lumumba, right?
All right, y'all, let's get back to the business at hand. All right, so we're going to interrupt discussion on that note because I have just been handed another item, as you have in front of you, that we need to also treat as an emergency. There was some confusion with Novus, and it didn't get done the way it was supposed to get done. That's my short sentence on it. It is, and this should be self-explanatory. Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, recognizing and supporting the celebration of Father's Day 2025. It's being submitted to us respectfully by Mr. Stokes.
So move.
We have a motion to add it.
Second.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Okay. Thank you very much. It carries unanimously. Now, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. Madam President.
We do.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, we need to get it on the floor. Sorry. I'm trying to get this done.
Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, recognizing and supporting the celebration of Father's Day 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Stokes.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, you can't say enough about these outstanding great mothers for Mother's Day. The mothers have been the backbone of families over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a huge amount of great fathers.
Well.
And we need to stop letting those absentee bad fathers give a bad taste about all fathers.
Come on.
And it's important that we start here in Jackson, Mississippi, and hope it'll catch on all over the country, that we really treat Father's Day as a special day. And what we did in thinking of this celebration, like I said, we got a lot going next week. I'm gonna ask this young man to come to the mic, to bring your children, and you can introduce himself. We're gonna do a parade and a march. We're gonna ask a lot of these fathers, grandfathers, fathers that's out, and everybody else to come, and let's try to uplift fathers. Too many fathers, and let me explain what I call father. It's not the person who donate to make sure you're here, because you don't have to have that blood in your body to be a father. And I don't just use the word stepfather. There's a lot of fathers out here may not be a blood father, but they treat these children better and these families better than blood fathers would do. And we got to let these fathers know we appreciate it, but we'll let this father, and this is the father of the year who can introduce himself and his family and why we got to do something for fathers.
All right, so I guess this afternoon. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicholas King Bolek Brown, and I represent Boss Brother Universe, which consists of my wife, Tracy Brown, my oldest son, Nicholas Jr., my oldest twin, Khalik, and the youngest is Kareem. Now, a lot of people may have seen the work that we've been doing around the city, but the way we're able to do it is because we keep God first and we keep family after that. And we're from the community. We've been doing what we're doing now, I would say probably about three years officially with the book. But we're from Jackson, from Councilman Stokes Ward 3. I grew up in Christian Brotherhood Apartments right off of Meg Evers. Growing up, we always went across the street to the Meg Evers Library, but we didn't know who Meg Evers was. I figured it was pretty sad considering that we grew up just down the street from where he was assassinated at. So as me growing and learning more about myself and more about our city and learn more about the people that came before us, it's important that we start at home to solve the problem that we see in our community. When you see children out committing heinous acts, just know that those children come from somewhere. And so we look at a way for us to be a solution. We start in our house. Put God first, family first, and then we find a way to do business with each other, and we travel all around the country, teaching other children, teaching families and things like that. So that's pretty much what we're doing.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate, Mr. Stokes, thank you for this.
Well,
It's very
we thank all the
uplifting.
fathers.
Yes,
All these
very
fathers,
uplifting.
we love them. And we're going to start telling people more and more how we love fathers. Now, we're not trying to replace Mother's Day. Not to replace Mama.
We wouldn't-
Never.
we wouldn't-
Never.
I think Mr. Hartley.
I'll defer to the mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
I'll just say that I don't think Mother's Day is in any jeopardy. But no, I do want to take the opportunity to recognize this family that is in front of us. I always commend both of the parents for the amazing job of these young men. I run across them on a frequent basis, different events in the city. But I remember, Councilman Banks, you may remember this, Smarty Pants used to come to our school, and, he'd say, "You're so smart, young person," and then, "Why are you so smart?" And your response was supposed to be, "Because my parents are smart," right? Or my teacher is smart, either one. But I just want to commend, I always compliment your sons, but I want to commend you, Dad, because to take the time and to love on your boys the way you do is a special thing. I tell people that my mom used to mess with me because when people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I told them a daddy, right? Because my example was so amazing that I could think of no better thing to do. And so your young men, I'm sure, feel the same way about you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Mr. Hartley.
Yes.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Kareem and I'm 11 years old. My name is Khalik, I'm 11 years old.
And my name is Nick and I'm 14 years old.
And we're the Boss Brothers. Our mission is to teach entrepreneurship and develop a strong family through our books and media content. This is our first book right here called Boss Brothers Learning to Earn, and we have 8 books also. This is just our first one. It's our main one we be pushing, and it's going to teach children about the 4 ways people earn money, assets and liabilities, much more, and it's only $20. So everybody who want to support us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube, everything's Boss Brothers Universe, and make sure you buy this book. It's only $20, and it's only $20.
There you go. Sell it, brother. Sell it.
Thank you so much. Mr. Hartley, did you?
Yes, I just wanted to say before they step down that, look, these fathers, especially young fathers, they're a fiber in our community. They have to be held strong. And I would encourage you, anytime I see someone at Walmart or out and they're holding a child and a man and his son or daughter is walking, I stop them. And I said, hey, thanks, brother. Thanks for being there, being a dad. And I think I would encourage everyone to follow suit, because this is an important strand in our families and in our community and our city. So thank you for bringing your family up and everything you do. And thank you, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Hartley.
Ms. Clay.
All right, Councilwoman Clay.
I just want to say thank you. I've used them before for book signings and for doing different things, and I met him at Brooks Brothers, the store, and the little man was with him at work, and it was amazing to see. So keep up the good work and keep up the father image, and your family is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Clay.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for inviting us, Mr. All right, all in favor? It's a vote of 7-0. Thank you so much. And, all right, so now we're moving back to discussion item number 40.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, Mega Evers, the Boulevard is something that when we first received the $20 million, it was a lot of joy. And we understand that the bids came up a little high. I placed this item on the agenda, and I asked Mr. Turk if he'll be here, because we have a number of projects that will not be complete within 30 days. And we need to make some decisions. We don't need these projects to stall in the train off the track and they never become a reality. Mr. Turk, could you come to the, and I understand his contract is up the end of July, but somewhere down the line, a lot of these projects are not moving, and it's a teamwork that got it, excuse me, that got it moving, but we don't want these projects that's moving to become yesterday's news, because they will not become a project in terms of a reality. And when we think about Mega Evers, that's supposed to have been done, we thought, years ago, but yet with Mr. Turk and others' help, it's moving. And I keep saying moving because hopefully you can help us. How do we make sure that these projects, I think it's about 40-some, are not going to be yesterday's news?
Mr. Stokes, Mr. Mayor raised his hand.
Yes. Well, first, I appreciate the recognition. Every time we talk about the lack of a city engineer, this is who has been augmenting the services along with Louis Wright. So we appreciate that recognition because he's been doing an amazing job, and I will be the first to tell you, through his contract and his services, I've learned more about how the city is often taken advantage of in the midst of contracts, in the midst of capital projects. And so it's been invaluable to us in order to have a kind of inside, behind the curtain look of how we need to hold people accountable, what that means and what that looks like. I don't know that we are opposed to offering a new contract, but that would be a matter of how this council, what the council's appetite would be prior to, this would have to be right before, our last council meeting. And so that if you want to give us an indication of how you feel as a body, then we wouldn't have a problem with trying to push that forward as soon as possible.
All right, Mr. Alturk.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. Really, this is within your discretion. My contract expires July 31st, and it's up to the administration and the council how you want to proceed, and if you want to proceed forward with amending the contract.
Mr. Turk, and this is something that I think a lot of council members may not know, because I didn't know. How many projects are we talking about?
Well, when we first started, almost 10 months ago now, we had over 30 capital projects that we were involved in. 4 of them were delayed for closing, and we had problems with MDOT, basically withholding funds until we get them closed, and those 4 projects were closed. Now we're moving forward with those. The remaining 26 projects, we pushed a lot of the contractors, both in the design engineering firms and the contractors, to actually catch up. Some projects were 2 years, 3 years, 4 years behind schedule.
Oh,
yeah. So we
take your time to repeat that, because I don't think council members truly understand. When you said 2, 3, and 4 years behind schedule, some of these projects are not going to become a reality if we bog down.
Right. And we pushed a lot of those projects. So, you saw today there's probably 6 items on the agenda. The next meeting, there's going to be 11 items on the agenda for approval by the city council. So we're moving projects because basically we're putting a lot of pressure to make sure that the consulting engineering firms are accountable for performance of their contractual obligations, and the same thing with the construction companies. But what our role in this really is going to be in your discretion and the administration discretion.
What about Medgar? Could you just count?
So Medgar Evers, I think you probably recall that the city received a grant, a raise grant on an amount of $20 million. The initial application that the city submitted was for a total, really they requested $25 million, but they only got 20. The total project cost was $30 million. So basically $10 million was committed by the city to provide the matching funds. We pushed to try to complete the design, and when the design was completed, the project was bid probably about 4 months ago. And unfortunately, the bids came $14 million above the estimates. So the total project cost, instead of being $30 million, now it's $44 million. So we immediately met with the consulting engineer, with the contractor that won the bid, with MDOT, with the Federal Highway Administration, with Jackson Water, to try to figure out how we can bring the project within the initial budget of $30 million. So there was 2 things that we wanted to do, and we made a request. The city submitted a request to MDOT to remove all of the water and sewer, which will reduce the cost by $7 million, and then also to rehab, and instead of reconstructing Medgar Evers Boulevard, which also reduced the cost by another $7 million. So this is up to the Federal Highway Administration now, whether they approve the request that the city provided, and we should hear back from them within the next 60 days.
May I suggest that you talk to all these council members about the projects in their wards, especially they bogged down or stalled, because they need to know, because I would think Medgar was still moving forward until somebody, I think you or someone else let me know, and I think these other council members think the projects in their wards are moving, but it's a chance they could be forever gone.
Yeah, we'll be glad to make a work session with all of the projects, details, that's not a problem, or meet individually with you all as well.
Thank you, Madam President.
Yes, sir. Mr. Banks?
Yeah, Mr. Mellenbeck, this is all under capital improvements. It is. Madam President, since this is under capital improvements, the suggestion to make sure that we don't lose these projects, I would support making whatever amendment necessary, so only for this to carry out up to the adoption of a new budget.
Okay. All right. Well, wait.
Well, I can't do it now because there's no item. I'm saying I would support it if
We
we,
need to get it on the next agenda.
our special meeting, yeah.
I think we can do that.
Or I could call a special meeting. if we just-
So we can do that, but we wanted to have some understanding, so that's helpful to know where the council stands. And Mr. Alturic, we can't write an agreement that doesn't work for you, right? So we have to have city legal get together, and we'll try to have it ready for the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank y'all very much. Mr. Stokes, thank you for bringing this item forward.
Thank you, Madam President.
Appreciate it very much. All right, so you've got the next one as well, Rondo Street.
I had some people here from Rondo, I don't know if they still here, but they were concerned about the condition in the community, but I'd be glad to put it on the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Stokes. All right, discussion conditions at Pittman Park, Mr. Hartley?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Pittman Park, formerly Poindexter Park, but renamed in honor of the civic leader, Ms. Beneva Mae Pittman. Presently out there are some conditions that the community has been raising that needs to come to attention or at least get a status on. One is the lighting there. Lighting, also, the unhoused or homeless community that stays out there, and also waste and litter and other things. So I was just wondering if Dr. Muhammad could give us an update on how things are going out there, or perhaps Mr. Wright can add into the discussion as well.
Abraham Muhammad, Parks and Rec. To speak directly to the issues in which Parks and Recs are involved in, of course, the 311 calls for service at Pittman Park has been reduced there 76 or 77%, meaning that we're on top of making sure that those who may come out and do good service for our unhoused population there, that the very next day, if not that Monday, depending upon when they do it, that it's cleaned up. JPD, we've been working in concert with them to ensure that those who may be using the park other than what the park is intended for, that those patrols has beefed up, and so the activity has been lessened there that it once was at one time. And the CAO office has signed off on the agreement with Entergy to have the light fixtures as well as new poles installed. Those contracts have already been signed, sent back over to Entergy, and now we're waiting to hear back from them as to a scheduled time and date that installation would take place, as well as a security camera that is now tied back to the RTCC that's been helping with keeping down some of the activities that's been taking place there as well.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, in addition to those items, and forgive me if I kind of tuned out for a second, I know that the posting of the rules, the park rules, have we received those signs yet? Okay, they're posted. They're posted. Lastly, as it relates to the unhoused, myself and the executive cabinet have taken the time to meet with the leadership there in West Jackson. We met at the Police Training Academy. We also brought in a couple of the continuum of care organizations that provide food often to the unhoused in Pittman Park, so that we can create a framework of an agreement between both community and the continuum of care organizations so that they can work in conjunction with each other. The reality is that we would have liked to see more continuum of care organizations to attend that meeting, but the spirit, by and large, there were a few little hiccups in the conversation, but the spirit by and large was cooperative. They exchanged numbers, and I asked that after they have a discussion with one another, that they reach back out to the administration so that we can take the next steps in terms of consummating an agreement, a collective community agreement to be addressed, and that agreement is intended to even address those that were not present in the creation of the agreement, because we have to consider those who come from, other cities and just want to do a good deed, but they don't know the aftermath of what may be left for those that just want to have a family reunion in the park and other things. And so we've taken the steps to have that discussion, and I would love to hear what the the results of their early conversations have been, if they've been talking. But we left them to exchange numbers, and they said that they would do that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, and the only thing I have to add, and I would appreciate the efforts there, the only thing I would add is maybe we can have in that discussion as well, is coordination between the churches and other nonprofits that bring food out there, if they could meet with Stu Pot, because, my meetings with them, what we end up finding is, Stu Pot and others, they would prepare meals, and then the folks shift, they don't show up because they got something else going on at the park. And so if we can make some coordination between those nonprofits and the continuum of care, that would be good.
Yeah, there was at least one church represented at that meeting, it will certainly be our intent to reach out to any and everyone that we believe does so. The real challenge is whether they come or, and I think even our best efforts, if we get 100% participation from those that we think of, there will invariably be someone that we don't think of. And so we still need to create an agreement that considers those who are unaware of the agreement and how the city responds in those circumstances.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Councilman Hartman, let me say as well that one of the questions you asked me in the back, those communications are continuing to take place in terms of the churches and other civic organizations that you asked me about. Those are taking place, and they're taking place regularly. I am in contact with those organizations, some of which, in fact, Mr. Brown, he assists in, they only not do books, but he assists with other community works, a dear family to me. In fact, I married he and his wife several years ago. Wow. So I don't know if that got a lot to do with them writing good books, but it does. Okay, but yes, that is taking place.
And if you could reach out to Citizens for Action,
yes,
community group over there,
yes, sir.
Just giving them an update. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stokes?
Thank you, Madam President. My concern is that the overall plan was to put Ms. Pittman Park and that whole area in Ward 5, but it's currently still in Ward 3. And I don't know how. I don't know why all these mistakes. I've been to every precinct in my ward today, and they got this listed as St. Luther. And St. Luther has not been a voting precinct in what, 10, 15 years? But they said they were going to merge 12 and 13, and they got 12 open as an independent. So it's a lot of things that we need to correct legal about these ward lines, new ward lines and everything, so that the adjustments can legally be made, because Councilman Hartley is trying to work with Pittman Park and all of this and that, but it's still officially, it's in Ward 3.
Mr. Stokes, I would encourage you to, pursue that. After the election, I think that's got to be worked on. But I'm not going to be here.
They say it louder,
Bert. Somebody else is going to have to take, somebody who's getting elected again is going to have to figure this out. So anyway, thank you. All right, but I appreciate you bringing it up. All right, we're going to move on, colleagues. Do we need to go into executive session, legal? Make us happy, Mr. Attorney, and say no.
Yes, but Drew Martin, City Attorney, I can shorten some of this by doing it now and keeping it to one thing, and any additional questions you have. I'd like more time to discuss these, but I'll just run through them fairly quickly. We often come with City Legal asking the council to approve money for things. We don't always get a chance to tell you when we're not asking for money, so I did want to update you. We had a federal employment discrimination case that was dismissed in the last week or two. We had a second employment discrimination case that was dismissed in federal court in the last week or two. We had an American Disabilities Act case that was dismissed by the federal court in the last week or two. Excellent. We had a slip and fall case on city property, which was dismissed in state court, and we had a lawsuit against the city for injuries from a hospital, from an ambulance transport that was also dismissed. Those are all $0 payments from the city.
And how much, I mean, I know this is an almost impossible question, but how much would it have cost us, could it have could it have cost us?
I wouldn't get to the millions, but I'd say several $100,000, yes, easily.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes. In addition to that, you may have seen media coverage, and I sent each of you an update. Judge Reeves in the federal court issued an order in the airport case. He did dismiss one of our claims, which is our federal due process claims. However, he found that there was sufficient law that we were correct to continue to pursue our equal protection claims in federal court, and also that we could continue all of our state constitutional claims as well. And we will continue to fight for those and pursue those. We expect those to be appealed, but we'll wait and see. In the meantime, we'll move forward with the lawsuit. And I can answer more questions about that in executive session. I told you all a while back, but it got some coverage recently. The city had been under a consent decree with JTRAN for 10 or so years. We resolved that by agreement and are working in collaboration with local disability community to continue what they need for that. So we don't have the federal court overseeing it, but we're still doing it. And also the Chapel Ridge Apartments, I can give you an update on that as well. So as of about 2 weeks ago, the owners of that property and multiple other properties officially declared bankruptcy in federal court. The downside of that is it's going to stop most of our legal options initially, because there's a bankruptcy stay that will be automatic that will prevent us from pursuing affirmative legal action on that. The good news is that the federal bankruptcy court has appointed a trustee already. I'll be reaching out to that trustee today. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I have spoken, by the way, with the trustee over the loan, and I've spoken with the financing company. But in any event, I'll be speaking with the bankruptcy trustee and urging them to take action. I don't know whether they'll be in a position to do it immediately. I'm going to absolutely encourage that and explain the situation. For what it's worth, that bankruptcy, this is a guess based on what we've looked at in the filing so far, we're talking about a $100 million type bankruptcy. This is multiple properties across multiple states that are in similar situations, and it's going to be a mess to clean up. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't fight to get ours cleaned up. Yes, sir.
Wait, Mr. Banks. And
No,
I'm sorry.
mine is after.
Okay, then Mr. Hartley.
Yes, the other apartments, this may impact other folks, other council folks. Are all of them in Jackson? Or
No, most are not.
Which ones are in Jackson? Do you know what part?
The only one I know of that's impacted by this bankruptcy in Jackson right now is Chapel Ridge.
Okay.
But this is pretty early in that investigation. Most of these are under different names, right? They're all this LLC and this LLP. So you can't just look at that and immediately know what apartment it is. We know which ones it is for this one. The trustee will be responsible, for example, for going back and collecting any debts that were owed by these people. If there are any assets to collect on, they'll be responsible for mitigating the loss of the properties. There are bondholders involved, by the way, which they're going to be interested in that as well. While that's not the most important part for us, what we do, it is helpful, because those people that are trying to protect their money, the only way that they can do that is also by making this a safer, secure place for our residents.
Okay, so when can we, first of all, I'd love to have a meeting with the residents out there, with legal
Be happy to.
and other parties, but when can we expect some type of administration or management to step in there?
I hope I have a better answer for that today, but this week. But I need to talk to that trustee first.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. And Mr. Banks?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You good. You finished?
Sure.
Are you?
Yes. For what I can say in public meeting, yes.
We still got to go into executive session?
For one thing.
All right. Well, before we do that, Madam President, I just want to take the time to recognize and introduce to this chamber, after several men leading Ward 6, Chip Reno, Marshawn Chrysler, Tony Yarber, Tyrone Hendricks, and myself, I would like to recognize and welcome to the chamber Councilwoman-elect Thomas. If you would please stand. And we congratulate, and I just look forward to your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Colleagues, number 46, monthly report on a privilege tax. Everybody see that? Everybody get that? Show of hands. Okay, thank you. All right. Is there anything else that needs to be announced or said before we vote to go into executive session? All right.
Announcements.
Announcements. Yes, sir. We're going to do everything before. before we go into executive sessions. Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. Madam President, I'd like to close the meeting in honor of Mr. Robert Buchanan, Mrs. Aline Sutton, Mr. Cedric Cole, Dr. Dunn Gibson, and Mrs. Bernice Cornelius. And again, next Saturday, the 14th of June, we will have the parade, rally, and march, and on the Father's Day. And we're asking all fathers, grandfathers, anyone who would like to participate, either walking it or riding in their car, but we must start getting a positive message out about fathers. A lot of great fathers. Some still here and some gone. And if family want to put a car in there and honor their fathers who have passed, let's do it. But let's have a great Father's Day in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes. That's
Madam
a great reminder. Dr. Omari?
I'd just like to reemphasize that Friday, June 6th, is Gun Violence Awareness Day, and we ask people to wear orange in recognition of the efforts that are taking place to reduce gun violence in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Omari. Mr. Hartley?
Yes, one question for the administration. Do we have a date now for the roll-off dumpster day?
I don't have a date. That would have been a question for
Ms. Lakeisha.
Ms. Weathers, but what we can do is get that information and send it out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Omari. All right, colleagues, I now will take a motion to go into closed session for the purposes of discussing going into actual executive session to discuss litigation matters.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay, if we have how many of us are left? 5-0. All right. We are now in closed session. If you are not pertinent or relevant to the discussion regarding this litigation. Okay, y'all, I need y'all to hold it down back there, please. We're going back into session. Hey, Mr. Mayor. Shh.
Excuse us.
Shh. Okay. All right, we are now out of executive session. While we were in executive session, we took no official action. Colleagues, is there anything else to come before this body at this time? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.